Hello there everyone, and welcome back to this Cao Cao campaign. Last time around we defeated a small Han army that was sent to apprehend us by Chengdu, I believe it's called, or something of that kind, the main villain of this sort of storyline. And today we're gonna continue, since I believe we are actually within marching range of another area. And even though there might be some other areas around here that we could target for good use, I think since this one is actually right within marching distance, this is where we will go. And since last episode I went ahead and I've taken a look a little bit at, like, you know, what to do next, as I'm not too familiar with the building structures and all that. I decided to go ahead and upgrade the farms, so irrigated farms. That will give us population growth, food, income from peasantry, and military building construction reduction. I also gone ahead and realized there were assignments, and so I've put Lady Bian. I'm not entirely sure. I want to say she's the wife of my character, but I'm not entirely sure if that's true, because I didn't really figure out. I've yet to really figure out the relationship in between the different family characters, but I imagine that, and by assigning that we'll get 50% income from peasantry, which I do believe the main income of this province is. Yeah, it's all peasantry, so 50% there would increase quite a lot. Not making a lot of money out of that. Hopefully that will increase. So the way it works with the province is, I imagine, as most of the newer ones, that you have one central province that has, like, the province capital, that's the walled capital, and then around that you have a lot of these smaller settlements that just do one thing, their farm, their mine, or whatever. Not entirely sure all the different ones in Three Kingdoms, but so that system is kind of familiar, but it's a little bit different in the other stuff. Since I haven't played a lot of the newer ones, I mostly, as you guys know, play Empire and Napoleon. So a few of these stuff are new, like the but although I should say that I did go ahead and play through what's it called? Kingdom of Britannia, or whatever it was called. Kings of Britannia? The one where you were in Britain. And it has some of the new features, like the reserve. I think it's called something else in that. But the basic is still the same, that you run out of sort of supplies for your army, it's bad, and so forth. So that is similar in that, but there's still tons of learn I can see. And yeah, but without that boring you with such stuff, let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and attack this livestock farm and see how well we will do in this fight. So this fight is a lot more even than last fight, so it says that our force is superior, but the numbers of troops, they actually outnumber me by 30 men, which isn't a lot. But it's still, this is a lot closer fight than the last one in terms of the actual force deployed. So it's gonna be a little bit better than the last one. I really like this feature, because this feature is something that I was asking for, you know, in Empire Napoleon. The fact that you would be able to see, but I would sort of probably a way where you could actually tell on the campaign map a little bit more. Where, you know, if you position your army here, in that sense I mean, like, if I move my troop to an area where I can clearly see that this, if I put my army here, then I will have like a high ground, or if I move it here, it will so I mean, this helps, of course, taking a look, seeing where you will fight, but I would rather have, like, and even go even further that and have like clear markings on the map, like you could see. I don't know exactly how that would be done, certain bits you can do, like if you place them on a bridge, you know it's going to be a bridge battle and so forth. But a little bit more like that, so you could kind of, as you move your army around on the map, because most of the time I feel that you end up in a random field and you don't really get that maneuvering into a good position as the enemy army approaches and stuff like that. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into this battle, shall we? And as I've mentioned, the resupply rate is, or the replenishment rate of troops is kind of low here in the beginning, so we'll have to take care to make sure that we do not lose a bunch of troops, because that's gonna slow us down. We only have this army. We need to keep going, capture as many territories early on as possible. Obviously not too much, because we need to balance it towards what we can defend. And if we take on too much too soon, then, you know, the others around us are going to swarm at us. Seeing as we expand too quickly, our enemies will swarm in. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into this battle, shall we? And capture these cattle. And beyond those hills, we have the farm. We've got the little farm area right here, so we've got a ridge going in between our two starting locations. Most likely, or at least if I was the enemy, I would try to capture this, because you not only do you have the trees that would protect them from arrows, it's the high ground, and we know how dangerous the high ground can be. Don't even try it, Anakin. And I'm wondering, just looking also at my sort of brigades, and I'm wondering if I should focus in the sort of infantry on my main commander, Cao Cao, and then have my other commander, which is the champion type character, to have him just be in command of the cavalry, so that we can organize it in that way. That I could have, maybe what I could do is I could have like a sort of melee infantry brigade, one bow brigade, and one cavalry brigade. Or if we would do mixed brigades, which could make the brigades more flexible, and in a kind of Napoleon style, have very flexible brigades. But that's to be thought of in the future. Not much more for the deployment. Let's go ahead and start and see what the enemy does. So the enemy starts off to the right of this village, and they're gonna hold this position, it looks like. They've got a lot more bows than I do, but I have a lot more cavalry. So the idea is to strike them with Cao Cao's infantry brigade from the front. We're not going to worry too much about my bloody archers. And then we're going to move the cavalry. Oh, I was hoping I could actually move around this hill to try and avoid being seen, but that's not going to happen. You do have this, if we look at the map here, you do have this fog of war, where we can't really see beyond this hill, so it would have been advantageous of the enemy to, you know, deploy behind here, because I didn't know they would have that many archers, and I missed that, I guess, as we set it up. But they could have hidden all their forces right here. I wouldn't have seen them until we passed here, and then I would be, you know, sort of kind of stuck with just charging into them, just for the fact that otherwise we would just be swarmed in this hail of arrows. So the enemy kind of sets up in a noob square, which isn't that bad. Well, it is bad, but it's understandable because they don't have a proper commander. And also, maybe you don't want to take too many offensive maneuvers, given that we are much more maneuverable than the enemy due to the fact that we have cavalry. and lots of it. So this is my champion unit, and we also have the heavy spear cavalry, which was Leopard Tiger, I think they're called, unit, which is over here. We've got that column right there. So pretty heavy guys. If we maybe go in and take a look at some of the units here. So we can see that this is a heavier unit in terms of their armament. Compared with even the champion, because the champion dudes doesn't even have shields. And then we have a lighter saber cavalry. Light sword cavalry. Right, the enemy is deploying to trying to protect itself, which I like. They realize that it's not going to go too well for them. Thing is, we need to close the distance really quickly if we are to crush them. The thing is, I'm pretty sure I've got time on my side. Look at that. The heavy cavalry is winded. So we might just... I think we'll draw the line right here. And we'll just have them move in there. These guys are winded, which is not too good. So I guess we should take care and wait for them to become fresh. It was a rather large or very wide maneuver we took to come behind them. And since the enemy is just sitting there, we don't really need to move that quickly. I see an opportunity here to actually sort of move the enemy's formation, as these archers right here could possibly not cover this unit entirely, and I could kind of snipe them from over here and sort of dislodge this unit more. And then I also realized that now they're moving. We've got a town in the way, so we need to move the forces a little bit more like that to be able to properly avoid having one unit running into town and then sort of snagging onto the side there and not conducting a full-on proper charge. Okay, so now they're just a big mess, placing the troops inside each other. And I realize all their infantry is actually halberdiers or spear warriors, which is not going to be that good for my archers to charge into. They moved this unit out way in front, so I don't even know if I need to move the archers that far. Now it disappeared. See if I can move up. Try to avoid being within their range, but still being able to punish any of their units that kind of move out of range. The good thing is, though, they seem to be putting more archers towards the back, which is going to save my infantry as they approach. So it's going to save a lot of men of that caliber. And as I look at it, we're not probably going to use the infantry to flank on the left side, because that's going to be covered by the village. So instead, we should put infantry more on the right. So I'm thinking... I'm just guessing here. I haven't actually looked at the stats. There seem to be very varied stats for all the units, even though it seems to be the same. Lightsaber infantry and so forth. But I'm thinking it's probably better to have the sword infantry all on this side. They're the ones that are going to sweep in on the side, while we have the ranged dudes in the front. I'm not entirely sure why one of the units have a higher ranged toughness than the other one. Not entirely sure. There shouldn't be any difference in between them. Spear guards. Maybe spear guards, and the other ones are also spear guards. So I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. Cavalry is fresh at this point. how far up forward? I can move a little bit more forward.
Move out!
Without startling the enemy.
Bowman!
I can move my bowmen
Go now!
a little bit closer. And
Make
with
ready!
my swordmen
March out!
now in position, oh, they're moving forwards. We've got an archer duel, so it's dragging shots from the front line, and with that, let's advance at full
The
speed.
time has come!
Gonna hold off the charge of the cavalry until the front is engaged, and most likely they're gonna pull in all their infantry to do that. So even though I'm losing, oh, here comes the volleys. So they're targeting the unit that actually has the most range toughness of all my units, or one of the most. And it seems I'm winning this fight as well. They're wavering because of damage they've taken.
The enemy unit flees! What cowards!
Sword infantry attack, spear infantry attack. You will sweep in from the side and pin this unit. So have the general close by. Move in to pin them. They looks like they could possibly charge around there, and with that we'll have the cavalry move in to sweep in and attack those. Let's not have a commander stand there and be shot to pieces. I want to flank fire into that unit, and then I want the cavalry to sweep around, and here comes the cavalry. So I think the heavy cavalry could probably just go ahead and charge into this.
Looms large.
To attention!
And I'm hoping the heavy cavalry
Ready!
has enough to do that flank charge, even though it's cavalry. I mean, it's oh, they're going somewhere else.
Move now! Strike! Show no mercy! Strike!
Cavalry all towards here.
Fight!
The heavy cavalry line up and will have a will charge into these guys'
The enemy
rear.
unit flees! What cowards!
Oh, and the halberdiers, and we overrun these guys.
Cavalry!
Heavy cavalry charge in here. Spearmen.
To attention, never!
We broke the enemy from the front, and as long as the spear is not braced against us,
Horses, stand ready!
the heavy cavalry did pretty well, but we don't want to get stuck in the fight, do we? Oh, there it went. We were victorious.
To attention!
And like last time, I think it's better to have just a cavalry chase the enemy troops down, rather than having the... Oh, it's a single archer. The only one that survived out of this unit is a single archer. Didn't really get any close-ups here, but I wanted to make sure that we performed well in this battle. And let's have the infantry stationed here. Right, well, you don't need to watch this, so let's jump back to the campaign map and see where we can move further from this victory.
It is just as it should be.
It sure is. So I lost about only 300 men, which is pretty darn good, I must say. And we captured the regions, and we captured quite a few enemies as well. Well, there's nothing to it. Occupy the region. Loot and occupy seems foolish, since it's a territory I will hold, and sack and withdraw is certainly not what we need to do. Yeah.
This place is ours now.
We had mission success, support of the people, some more public order, and faction support. I wonder if we could use that to possibly increase taxes. This settlement will be a valuable pool in our continuing endeavor. It must thrive, the populace must grow, that it may best serve our needs. And we gain some experience, and now we should get... Oh, let's see. A new mission has been issued. South administer firmly but fairly. Although you have your eyes on the future, my lord, do not forget that we must remain strong both at home as well as in the field. Our home infrastructure can be developed. Rich farmland and fertile plains should be nurtured. Doing so can only aid us. So what do I need to do then? Your economy grows. Is the reward construct or upgrade a building in Chen Town, which I already started last turn. So, or it doesn't. I haven't actually ended turn. This still is first turn, I believe. So I've already started upgrading something that will be within four turns. What? Negative factors? Why? I guess it's because we took this recently, and that's why there's some dislike. I wonder if... I can't recruit yet. Let's go ahead and upgrade the character. See what we can put into... Mighty Knockback. We've got Resolve, redeployment cost. I don't know what redeployment is. I don't know why that would... Discipline... available assignments only if the character is Prime Minister, Heir, or Faction Leader. Range block chance of melee cavalry own retinue. Increasing this will increase authority, which is satisfaction faction-wide, and morale, which is pretty darn good, I must say. And also we do get that more available assignments, which I can assign to, I guess, one of my characters, so they'll feel more appreciated, which is nice. Enable Unbreakable, that's pretty good as well though. There's a lot of these. I wonder, there's probably a cap to how many points you can have. So, I mean, I could be doing it wrong by going down a line that maybe I shouldn't be going down. But you know what? I'm gonna pick this one because, well, we can't sit here and wait all day. So we increased authority, and yeah, it's, I think now is time to end turn. We opened up more territory, which possibly opens up just before. We need to check. Quick deals, peace, non-aggression pact, military access. So I guess there is no more trade deals to be made. There's only really one. There's two characters. This guy right here, which is yellow turban guy, which is up here. He's the only one who's an equal level in terms of power with us. And then there's Dong Zhao, but he's too far away to fight us. And then everyone close by is worse off than us. So no problem there. Right, I think we'll just go ahead then and end turn. And then we'll figure out if we want to go further down here. This one is... we're able to quite rapidly move to and take, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't be moving north towards the capital, and we have a small city there that probably would do nice to incorporate that into and also complete the province by taking this. So it might be better to go north instead than to go south and kind of expose the kingdom more. By moving ourselves further from the capital. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and end turn, shall we? Right, the end turns go really quickly on this, which I like, even though it's, you know, a rather large territory. We're talking about all of China. Ancillary gained, labor recruiter. Oh, I like that. So, population growth, that's nice. What's this? People of merit. China's vast is matched only by of many experienced. Sun Quan. Ah, so this is a guy that we can recruit then. Though that I do not need to recruit anyone right now. Faction development. Yellow Turbans are capturing new faction capital. Capitals have been established. Okay. Didn't they have capitals before?
Let us draw up plans.
Ooh, look at that. I would be like one turn away to take that. But I think we're going to go north instead. We're going to try to take this so I complete the province. I'm going to start moving north. And possibly recruiting some new extra troops. I do have like characters that I can bring in that I'm not using. Like this guy I'm not using at the moment. He will come in with cavalry. So he would be the cavalry brigade then. And then these two would be infantry. But I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's not cost effective right now. Maybe it's better just to increase the ones we have. And what would I need? Since those guys kind of used more archers than us, it could be nice to have enough archers to kind of match the enemy like that. Since I'm using this guy kind of offensively and he needs to be closer, maybe it's better to have all the archers pooled into the main characters group.
I will rid China of
And
warlords.
then we did get that one. Let's see. Maybe instead of having this guy, we can have this guy. Growth. Administrated commandery. But I wonder if that is because he does not administrate this place. Also assignment. I should be able to select another one to take a position there to assign. What do you do? Cost, construction time, building upkeep. That's pretty good actually. Public order, reserves. This assignment has already been filled. Okay, so you can't double it. Well, then we can use this guy, my other family member. So we can assign him.
Future.
So that's pretty darn nice. And yeah, there's
reunification!
nothing really much more to do, is there? Can we see just attitude? So Han Empire, everyone else yellow. We don't have the possibility to increase the trade relationship with anyone. Everyone is neutral or angry with us. It seems that Dang Tzu has increased its territory towards here, and yeah, let's go ahead and end turn and then see if I can move towards this farmland. Winter has arrived, and with that I definitely don't want to leave my own territory, because we'll probably freeze to death in the winter. But looking at where we're going, I guess we're going just here. And also we have, if anyone approaches, we have an ambush chance of 70%, which is pretty darn nice. I do have this open slot. I guess we can only build one thing at a time in this province. So we'll have to wait until this one's done. What I could do is possibly upgrade this.
Do not let winter darken your spirit.
But no, you can only construct one building at a time per commandery. Okay, so the entire province I can only construct one thing. So I guess you gotta be really careful with what you upgrade. You can't just upgrade everything willy-nilly. It's certain areas. A clay axe. I wonder if I can imagine that a clay axe is probably not that good. It seems to be, the weapon seems to be, it's all graded by common, refined, exceptional, and unique. And I don't think a clay axe is probably that good. Is that the clay axe? Whether the clay, or was it, or is clay axe one of these things? Ah, yes, it is. Authority and satisfaction. What did this give? Same. Well, I could give it to someone of my characters. Is there anyone that's unsatisfied? Where do I see? Family tree characters. Any of my characters that's unsatisfied or needs authority? That would probably take an... yeah, I can see that another time. Let's go ahead and end turn and see if I can actually push towards this farmland and take it and complete this commandery. Commandery is what it's called. Commandery. Spring has arrived, and with that the campaign season is back on track. And also what I've been getting is that now we have the possibility of enacting a reform. So there's a number of things we can do. Either we can continue here on the military side, which at this point I don't really see. We've got the governing, land and registration populace, increase income from peasantry, and the growth, which I think, oh, you know what, foreign envoys would increase trade agreements. That would be pretty good as well. Enable more trade agreements and stronger commerce. But I don't know if we're like a commerce nation as of yet. So it would be, and this currency-based economy, I don't think we're there yet either. So it would be resettlement initiatives, which would increase population growth and also enable that building livestock estate, so we would be able to upgrade the livestock. And then there's the land, which would increase 15% income and focus more on taxation, so we would go down this line. You know what, I think we'll take this one for now. Maybe that was a mistake, but that's one I'm gonna go for. And with that, we should be able to reach pretty close anyways to this farmland. And with that, you know what, I think we have done enough for this video actually. We'll do the fight here for the next one. Character development. Oh, we got lots of new people of merit that's turned up. Not that I need any of them. And so, oh, a clay fish. What's all with these clay things we're getting? And it's also kind of, I mean, it's just like some silly clay item that he hands out. I don't know if that I would be super satisfied by getting like a clay fish or an axe or stuff like that. Probably crumble before you even get it home. Right, anyways, we have progressed pretty well, I think. And with that, I say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this episode, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!